Greetings, I am Rob Chappers and welcome to Chappers TV. It's been many a month since I've done a Chappers TV. I'm not really sure why it took a bit of a backseat or sat on the back burner, dwelling, waiting to be released. But Chappers TV is back. It's essentially a collection of things I film on my iPhone, put together in one video and then share with you. Coming up, we've got Marty Friedman, Martin Kidd. I'm going to be teaching the intro riff to Holy Fire, and I'm going to introduce you to a new employee at Chapman Guitars. Let's kick off with introducing you to Andy, the new general manager at Chapman Guitars. Andy now works for Chapman Guitars. Woo!
Thank you.
And Andy had no idea that we were going to film him today.
None whatsoever.
He came here for a meeting and turned up to this room with an Amiga setup of, the best I could manage in my household. And something that I've always kind of prided Chapman on is that you guys know everybody, pretty much, that works at Chapman. But you don't know Andy yet. So this is Andy. Andy, tell the ladies and gentlemen all about yourself.
I join the dots. This guy, the other guys, they're the face. I'm the person you very rarely will see. I keep it ticking over in the background. And the less you see of me, the better, because that means everything's going fine. More of him, less of me. That's a good thing.
Well, maybe. Andy is the new general manager at Chapman Guitars. So I call him boss. He tells me what to do, and I gladly manage that activity. And you've been with us for a short but very important amount of time.
It's flown by, having a great time.
It has flown by, isn't it? It's pretty crazy, really. And where did you come from?
So my background's distribution. Used to look after some great brands like Ernie, Music Man, Dunlop, Hercules. But fancied a new challenge, working directly with a brand, and a brand that's doing something really quite different. So the collaborative approach of Chapman is something quite unique, and the people here are fantastic. The product's great.
I'll give you a check in a minute. Okay?
And it's there's a lot of great things happening, and for me, really being busy with meaningful tasks and meaningful challenges is a big part of my remit and what I want to do. And I definitely feel like I've joined the right team. And certainly what I see online and what I hear out in the marketplace, it's all good. So,
that's very good. But now it's time for quick fire question, Andy. So, favourite movie of all time?
Jaws.
Really?
Yep.
I love how immediate that answer was.
No question.
Favourite album of all time?
New World Record, ELO.
Wow. Favourite Chapman guitar?
Gonna have to go for the semi-hollow, I think, at the moment. Although, to be fair, there's still a couple I haven't got my hands on at the moment. So,
okay.
And of course, there's a few in the pipeline which I'm definitely quite excited about.
Right. Well, there you go. Now you know a lot more about Andy than even I did before he walked into this room, having worked with him. Jaws. What is it? What is it about Jaws?
Obsessed with sharks, and
you're gonna get on great with Rory over time, then.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember going to the movies to see it originally. That tells you how old I am. And I absolutely myself, especially when the head falls out of the boat.
Yeah.
And they find the tooth.
That's great. Well, there you go. That's Andy. Thanks, Andy. This is the fake handshake of goodbye. I don't know why, but recently a number of people had asked in the comment section below for me to teach the intro riff to Holy Fire from the track Holy Fire by Rob Chapman, available on iTunes literally years ago. And yep, I've done it, filmed it a few days ago, and I really hope that you enjoy it. In my store, I believe you'll find a backing track. I'm not telling you to buy it, but if you wanted to, it might aid you on your quest. Enjoy. So here are some tuning notes so that you don't need to run off and grab yourself a tuner and worry about all of that gubbins. Starting from the skinny, all the way down. Keen-eared amongst you will notice that I very slightly detune this here thick C sharp string I don't like the feel of really thick bass strings, and so I like it slightly flat, so I hit it in to tune, because it kind of goes boom into tune. Such a great guitar. You know, when you have people amongst you who own more than one guitar will probably relate to this. When you have a number of guitars, more than sort of 3 or 4, and you've got one that you didn't use for a while, and then you go back to it and you go, damn, this is a great guitar. That's kind of how I'm feeling today. Because I've got like 6 of these, and it's pretty much one of my favourite shapes that Chapman makes. And I've been playing a lot of the British standard version and a lot of the classic old original blue one that you've seen on some of the music videos with Dorje. Yeah, so I haven't played it for a while and it feels really nice. Anyway, let me teach you, sorry I'm waffling because I'm enjoying chatting to you. How are you feeling? Good. Just remember, always bear in mind your toolbox. Your toolbox of chill, to keep your hand steady and your mind centered, and relax your core. Keep the fascia in place, and let's chill and shred. So it starts off with a drop C note. That was a really interesting harmonic that I hit purely by accident, but I'm going to do it again. Sorry, I was sidetracked. It was an interesting intervallic. Anyway, start with a drop C note. Then we're going to play a 5th chord, just a power chord, up here on the 7th and the 9th fret on the D and the G string. Bear with me if this takes me a while. I haven't taught using fret numbers in a long time, and so I find it mentally, arithmetically hard. I think in intervallics and notes now. So anyway, 7 and 9. And what I'm doing is I'm bending this chord down and then relaxing it again. Mostly the little finger, kind of a semitone almost, but not quite. I also pick and pluck that with these 2 fingers sometimes when I used to play it live. It gives you a very different kind of attack. I then slide up to the 10th and 9th fret D and G string to make a major 3rd shaped intervallic. And then I take this shape down to 6 and 7, sorry, 7 and 8. So 8 on the A, 7 on the D to get this sound. So far you would get this. And then this major 3rd shape, I'm also bending the 1st finger. You hear that? I like the idea of incorporating what it is that country does with some of its cool, when a guitar player is imitating a different kind of country instrument where they move like a B-bending kind of vibe. I like to incorporate that into progressive hard rock. Who doesn't? And then I simply slide the 1st finger down to the 5th fret, D string, and play that note. And then I do this. And then I do this. I'll do that one more time. So, and that is open, 5, 7, bend, return, pull, pull, 3, 2, open. So. suddenly aware that I've got a lot more delay and reverb than I would normally use, so I'm actually going to turn off the new neighbour, what I just have, and I'm going to use the built-in reverb from the Rockerbird 50 Mark II, which I've dialed down considerably to this. And play it again really quickly for you. There's one bit that I do that might interest people who are new to this kind of thing. When I go... I'm touching a harmonic, 13, 14, 15, 16, on the 17th fret D string to get that sound. Which I really enjoy, and actually did by accident during the recording, and then it kind of stuck. So there you go. I hope that was useful. Top 5 guitarists of all time, one of them is definitely Marty Friedman, because he composed an album years and years and years ago that launched exactly around the time I was really getting into kind of modes and theory and arpeggios and improvisation. It was an album called Scenes, and that album really changed my musical direction. So I was lucky enough to hang out with Marty when he came to do Captain Meets Andertons, and I got to chat with him and hang out backstage. It was really awesome, and he did something really cool. Aside from talking to me about Japanese culture and music and stuff, there was a crowd of people, and one of the guys asked him could he teach a particular part of Tornado of Souls, probably one of the best rock/metal solos of all time, undeniably so. You can deny it, but you'll be wrong. And he played through the whole solo, stopping at various points to see if this guy was after this particular part. I managed to film it, and here it is. That time, Marty Friedman played Tornado of Souls for us. Recently, I was visited by my great friend Martin Kidd. If you don't know who Martin Kidd is, he is one of the geniuses, one of the masterminds behind Victory Amplification. And he was here in my dwelling doing something secretive and special. And while he was tinkering and drinking my coffee, I filmed him having a noodle, because Martin Kidd is was forged in the fire of the 80s, and as a result has a whole plethora, a cornucopia of delicious liquory that you should steal immediately, and I'll forgive you for doing so. So here is a little bit of Martin Kidd having a shred on an ML1 Standard and a Victory RD1. You've been getting lessons off Guthrie or something? Coming up for me, I am off to California on the 18th. I'm going to be in Cali for a week doing some stuff with Guitar Center. And then I'm actually driving up the coast with Matthew Hornby from Chapman Guitars. And he and I are taking a trip to San Luis Obispo to visit our friends at Music Man Only Ball and hang out, undeniably eat some barbecue and chill, which is going to be really fun. Then when I get back, I'm off to Germany to shoot some videos with Thomann. And then when I get back, we're probably having a baby. So anyway, just to keep you in the loop of all things going on, Camp Chappers. You've been welcome in my casa. Take it easy. Chappers out.